Hey, it's Jeff Walker, and have you ever had a hard time finishing projects? This is the deal. As entrepreneurs, we all have a whole, it's just a series of one project after another after another. You know, sometimes there's this fantasy of we'll create this business and it'll just run on autopilot, and we'll put systems in place and they'll just crank along, and then we can just sit back and sip Mai Tais at the beach. But the problem is that as entrepreneurs, we have one project after another. There's always another project coming. I'm wrapping up my new book, Launch, and actually my first book. And this has just been an epic battle to finish this thing up. And but I'm there. You know, we are done. We're about to roll this thing out, just a few weeks out from publication date. But like, it's funny. I thought it was done so many different times. It was like I had the thing. It was just one more thing, and it's just been crazy how difficult it has been to like give birth to this project. But it's like that for every project. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I think over the years I've been in business now online for, I don't know, since 1996. So like that's forever. And the one thing people say to me is, Jeff, I just wish I had your focus. I wish I had your focus. And for me, I'm walking around, I think I'm like one of the most unfocused people in the world, but I do get projects done. I mean, personally, I like starting projects a lot more than I like finishing them. Or let's put it a different way. I'm better at starting them than finishing them, but I do finish. And I think that's what makes a difference. And as an entrepreneur, you have to finish. And you have to go in realizing that last 1%, it's almost like in football. And for those of you who are outside the US, I'm talking about American football. And you know, in American football, you're trying to go down and get a touchdown. And the toughest yards to get that touchdown is the last 10 yards as you're driving it into the end zone. In fact, there's a statistic they keep, the red zone. And that's like once you get inside the 20-yard line, and you're trying to push it into the end zone, how effective are you in the red zone? Because it's a lot harder in the red zone. And as entrepreneurs, when we're in the red zone, it's a lot harder. You know, I thought this thing was done over and over again, but part of that was I set these sort of intermediate goals. So like my first goal was to get the first draft done. And then my second goal was, and the last 1% of that was really hard. And then my next goal was to like get through like the second and the third draft so I could send it to my editor. And that last piece was like so hard. And then I got it off to the editor, so I celebrated. And then I got it back from the editor, and we went back and forth time after time after time. And then finally we called it done. And I'm like, oh, and I celebrated. And but still, and in one way you need to celebrate those intermediate victories, so on your way to the final stage. But then we started proofing. And this thing, we proofed it over and over. I had it proofed 5 times by 3 different people, and we still kept on finding errors. Then finally, in the 5th time, we made it through clean, and it was done. And so we celebrated again. Then sent it off to the publisher, and they laid the book out. And then we had to proof it again because of the way the layout sort of broke different things. Photos would be in the wrong place and stuff like that. So then we went through 3 more rounds of proofing with the publisher, and then it was done. I'm like, oh boy, I can shoot a video about my book and it's done. But the reality is now I'm just starting the battle, because now it's time to start promoting the book. And even the promotion, there's stages. It's like I'm doing my initial testing, and then I'll roll it out with partners, and then I'll roll it out with Amazon. And the thing is it's a nonstop series of hurdles. And even after this thing's released and selling on Amazon, I'll still be promoting it. So it'll be more projects. So the thing is you have to focus on that last 1% is going to be hard to do. It's just, that's the reality of getting projects done. It's messy. You got to hit all that early energy. It's just, you're so ready to be done. You're right there by the finish line, but you are tired. You have to push through on that finish line. It doesn't do any good to get it to 99%. You have to put it out there. And remember, perfection is your enemy here. You just have to get it out. You know what? We've proofed it, like I said, 5 times. Plus, there's my 3 drafts, then 3 drafts back and forth with the editor, and then 5 proofreadings, and then 3 more proofreadings after we're going back with the 4th with the publisher. I guarantee you there's going to be a typo somewhere in here. That's okay. You just got to get it out. But you have to finish. You're not going to get, you won't get anywhere until you get that last 1% done. And remember to set those intermediate goals. So it's not about having this book on Amazon. It's not about having it be a bestseller. It's about that next step. So it was that first draft, then it was that second draft, and the third draft, get into the editor, getting that editing process done. There's all these intermediate steps, and you have to celebrate each one. I mean, if you look back at the videos, I celebrated even like that first time when I sent it off to the publisher. I didn't know I had more to go beyond that, but you just have to celebrate each success, and you have to finish. You have to drive yourself to finish, because 99% isn't good enough. Until you bring it out into the world, you're not going to get the results. You're not going to make the money. You're not going to make the impact. You're not going to grow. It will not do you any good to get the 99%. So get that last 1% done. Push it over the finish line. Push it into the end zone and win. So I'm Jeff Walker. If you're watching this anywhere besides my blog at jeffwalker.com, go there and leave, because that's where all the conversation, all the comments happen. That's where I'm in there answering comments. So head over to jeffwalker.com and scroll down, leave a comment, like my page, subscribe to my channel, all that other stuff. But scroll down, leave a comment, and tell me about finishing your projects and how you're going to finish your project. Thanks a lot, and let's go get them this week.